Hey team, we're here for chest and triceps. We got a lot of good stuff today. 3 supersets, 1 3-minute AMRAP to finish things off. So you'll be counting reps today. The only things that are timed are at the very end. You'll still be counting reps. Weight selection. Get your normal chest press weight, whether that be bench press, load your bar, dumbbells, whatever your setup is. If you're at the gym and you're choosing a bench press and you're choosing to go heavy, make sure you have a spotter. I have a bench, highly recommended today. We've got seated dips. We've got push-up progression. So we're not just doing straight push-ups. We're going to progress a little bit every round. You'll need your typical tricep weights. So for kickbacks, for overhead extensions, if you prefer to put a plate over your legs for dips, or if you want to take the regular tricep dip machine at the gym, totally fine. Make sure you get set up appropriately. I have a plate here as an option for the push-up progression round. So there's a couple different options. You go elevated, you go weighted with a plate on your back for those. So for chest press weights, for me, I've got 30s. I also have 20s, 15s, 10s. I might need something below a 10. We'll see. I think we're just gonna go with it. Very, 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 very quick dynamic stretch. We're just literally gonna get loose. If you need that extra 5 to 10 minute cardio sesh, light bike ride, jog, jumping jacks, walking lunges, jump rope, something 5 to 10 minutes to get that heart rate up a little bit, go ahead and take that. Good, let's dip and reach. I have a band we're going to use for some mobility in our stretch. You don't need a band. You could use a PVC pipe. We're not going to use a band for the workout itself. Good. All right, some big hugs. Over and under. First superset is going to be chest presses, followed by overhead tricep extensions. It's up to you if you want to use your bench or do your chest presses from the floor. Nothing wrong with the floor press. If you're experimenting with heavier weights, you don't have a spotter, then the floor might be a really great option for you today. Our rep range is 8 to 10. And then overhead extensions 8 to 12. All right, so decent amount of reps, which means, and we also have push-ups in the workout, so keep that in mind. Use a challenging weight. Try not to burn yourself out. Okay, there's a difference. I still don't want you afraid of training for failure. Just 1 to 2 moves, so okay. All right. Bench is in frame at this point. Move that in the slightest way and the bottom falls out. All right, cool, cool. Make sure your head and neck is supported on your bench. Arch that back. Drive the heels into your floor. Shoulder blades into your bench or your floor. Get your angle right. Get your tempo right. Set number 1. We're in it. Full range of motion in your chest pressing. Good, good. All right, we've got 3 sets, not 4 sets. 3 sets of everything today. Overhead extensions. Seated, standing, doesn't matter. I'm going seated. I got low ceilings. Good, good. Now listen up. When you have a rep range, so like 8 to 10, 8 to 12, it's a wide range. Don't expect yourself and don't have any sort of expectation of hitting the same exact rep every single round. Especially if you're working on progressions. But here's the thing, when you pick up weights and you lift them, the challenge is going to get progressively more difficult, obviously, when you get through the first third of your reps, the second half of your reps. By the very end of your set, you should be feeling it. Okay, regardless. So regardless if you are picking up heavier weights each time, focusing on slower tempo each time, so you don't necessarily have to pick up heavier weights in order to make these progressions, but when you are working to train very close to failure, you really need those last couple reps to be slow and look like a struggle. Okay, you should look like you're struggling. So maybe that doesn't happen in the first set. Make that happen in the second set, in the third set, okay? And if we're in the 4-set exercise range for specific workouts, same thing, all right? So sometimes that 4th set is the thing that puts you over the top. And if you're not getting it from the weights you have at home and you're not quite ready to upgrade just yet, then I want you going for a 4th set in either chest pressing or push-ups. You choose. Doesn't have to be both. You choose though. Only you know your challenge. Only you know your threshold. Why do we drive our shoulder blades into the bench or mat in chest pressing? Because it protects the shoulders. Okay, so you really have to dig those heels in, arch the back, drive those shoulder blades into your bench. Really taking that extra focus on my triceps today. Oh my goodness. First set is always the hardest, am I right? Our first superset, rather. First superset. This is our last set. Make sure you're resting 60 to 120 seconds. You should need this recovery. I'm not quite ready to go yet. I'm just taking a seat. All right. We do have some core work coming up in the end. We got some planking. We have some standing marches, right? You can't really see. Push-ups are coming next. I'm not looking forward to it. It is what it is. Let's go. Last set, best set. And if you fail at 8, cool. There's no specific number you need to be failing at, just as long as you're failing. We're coming super close to it. All right. We gotta move this bench up frame. I'm gonna explain the push-up complex or progression, however you want to put it. So, I want you to take your currently your most modified version of your push-up, and I want you to do that for set number 1. So, if that is regular push-ups from your toes, cool. If you are at the point where you could go elevated push-ups or weighted push-ups, and I'm talking about an 8 to 10 range, okay? So 8 to 10. If you're still modifying push-ups, cool, no shame, no judgment. Modify it as much as you need to. So work on just your lowering, work on just the push, but then that final round, I need you making like all of the progressions. Okay, so for example, set number 2 for me is going to look like an elevated push-up. Set number 3, I'm going to attempt a weighted push-up. I might be failing before 8, but that's what I'm saying. So make the attempt to progress in the best way that you can progress, even if that means failing before you reach 8. So if you fail at 6 and you're using a plate on your back, that's going to be a win. That's going to give you much more progress overall than sticking with regular push-ups without a progression for the entire 3 rounds. Now you can choose to make your progression in 1 round. I would suggest the final round as opposed to set number 2. We've got kickback pulses in between. So 8 to 12. And a kickback pulse is just literally a straight kickback. Adding a pulse, coming all the way in. Boom. So with that little pulse, you might be failing closer to 8. Then, you know, whatever you're used to. So I'm not going to use the bench just yet. I'm going to wait till set number 2 for that. Again, 8 to 10. So let's go ahead and get started. Remember, perfect push-up form. And you can use this if you're just working on the lowering. Is get into your high plank, wrist directly below those shoulders, okay? So we're not out here, we're not back here. You're starting out in a straight up tabletop. Spine is neutral, head and neck, everything neutral. You're gonna tilt those fingertips slightly in towards each other, just ever so slightly, all right? So the goal is to make that bow and arrow angle with your top half. And the goal is to lower everything down at the same time. No booty in the air and no hips sagging. And this is the exact same way I taught my 9-year-old to do push-up. He does push-ups at practice. That's the only reason I even taught him. But that's exactly how my 9-year-old learned to do regular push-ups. The same modifications, the same progressions. Here we go. Good. So when you have perfect form, the possibilities become endless. Tricep kickbacks with a pulse. Good shit. All right, awesome. Take that recovery. Take the recovery. No reason to rush. Okay, so here's my first progression. It's going to be an elevated push-up this round. So I think that's one step below a weighted push-up. And if you've never attempted before There's a first time for everything. So here we go. Again, that's what training close to failure looks like. Last couple reps were a struggle, and they should be a struggle. Okay, no matter what your level is, I don't care if you've been lifting and doing this shit for years, it should never feel easy. If your muscles are training close to failure, that fatigue is going to look real. Whew, awesome. Okay, last set is coming. Take a breather. The reason we rest is so you can come back with the same intensity, with the same exact volume, with the same intensity every single set. Next round, we've got a chest fly, and we've got seated dips. So don't put your bench completely away. And there's legitimately no graceful way to do this. I don't have a technique. I just try not to. Let's try it this way. Let's see if I can just stand this up on its side. The simplest way to go here. All right. That was a little bit better than I've done in the past. All right, so flat back. Oh, we're attempting 8 to 10. Final round. See how this goes. That was good. When I first started, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting to 8. Thought I was going to get to 6. Oh my gosh. All right. Here we go. This is the last superset before our AMRAP. So let's go. Bench is back for dips. Eight to 10 lying chest flies. nice and under control. All right, be careful with those shoulders in that move. Because when you start to get fatigued and you stop squeezing the chest, that's when the shoulders really want to take over. And you have to sort of try to prevent that. Dips. Kneeling, modified, straight leg progression. Next progression, add weight on top of your hips. 8 to 12. Set number 2, here we go. Massage that low back into your mat. Slight bend in that elbow. Squeeze that chest. You're meeting in the center. Elbows go towards the back of the room. Fingertips are pointed straight. Damn. Woo. Triceps. Fucking chest and triceps. Shaking. Shaking. All right, we got one more set. Last set, best set. We're going to roll into our 3-minute AMRAP right after that. I'll demo the first move and then we'll get it going. Last chest live of the day. Last set, best set. Here we go. All right. Let me go over at least just the first move in this AMRAP, because this is a complicated one. somewhat complicated, nothing crazy. So what we're going to do is take one dumbbell and we're going to take sort of like a plank reach, more like a 4-corner plank reach. So essentially you want to hit all 4 corners, which equals 1 rep, and we're going 6 reps for this one. I have to check my reps on the other 2 movements. But what you want to do first is come down, opposite toe, reach it up, place that weight down. Now reach with your opposite side, boom, down. So that's 1 rep. We're going 6 total, just around the world like that. Keep painting those 4 corners. We've got 8 jack presses. 8. So I'm gonna go heavy for for those. And then we've got 8 standing marches. Not a lot of reps. So the 3 minutes is gonna be continuous. You're gonna take your own recovery. We're gonna get it started in just a sec. I'll give you the warnings as I see the time flash across my screen. But here we go, we're gonna start with that 4-corner drill. Just kicking it off, something easy, basic. Planks, little plank complex move. 1. 2. Halfway. 1 more. All right, jack presses. We are in minute 2 of 3. Back to that 4-corner drill. Halfway. Last one. Ooh, here we go. How much time we got? We got 40 seconds. Come on. More. Under 10 seconds to go. Let's start that final round. Good for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to start that 3rd final round. Awesome, awesome job. Way to crush that workout. Wasn't an easy one. You showed up, you did it. Go hydrate, eat, stretch, move, walk, move outside of this workout today. Slay the rest of your day. I'll see you next time.